You're scrolling through LinkedIn and seeing another headline about AI replacing workers.
And maybe you're thinking your job is still safe because it requires human judgment. Here's what caught me off guard about Elon Musk's newest project, Macrohard. He's building an entire software company where AI does everything, coding, testing, even managing, without human employees. And the most surprising part, it might actually work. Welcome back to BitBiasedAI, where we do the research so you don't have to. Join our community of AI enthusiasts. Click the newsletter link in the description for weekly analysis delivered straight to your inbox. So in this video, I'm breaking down the battle between Macrohard and Microsoft, examining Musk's track record with AI, and showing you exactly how this bold experiment could reshape American work as we know it. By the end, you'll understand not just what's coming, but how to position yourself in this AI-driven future. First up, let's look at Microsoft's current dominance and why they should actually be worried. Microsoft, the AI giant. You already know. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Microsoft isn't some dusty old software company anymore. Founded by Bill Gates and Paul Allen back in 1975, Microsoft has transformed itself into something much bigger than Windows and Office. Here's where it gets interesting. Under CEO Satya Nadella, Microsoft became only the second company ever to hit a $3 trillion market cap. Think about that for a second. $3 trillion. But here's what most people miss. Microsoft didn't get there by accident. They became one of the most aggressive corporate investors in AI, pouring over $13 billion into OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. And this investment is paying off big time. Their Azure cloud services and Copilot AI tools just helped boost revenue by 15% in fiscal year 2025, contributing to a staggering $281 billion in sales. Now, you might be thinking Microsoft is just playing it safe, right? Well, yes and no. Microsoft has this massive global user base running on billions of devices, decades of software expertise, and deep pockets for research. They've got everything an incumbent needs to stay on top. But here's the twist. Some analysts argue that Microsoft has grown more reactive than innovative. They're still producing hardware like Xbox and Surface tablets, but critics suggest they're often chasing trends rather than setting them. What's fascinating is how Microsoft is evolving. They're transforming from what was once a rigid software factory into a platform and cloud services leader. Every single product they offer now, from cloud computing to developer tools, has AI baked into it. Microsoft's founding vision was actually of a software factory unconstrained by physical products. And ironically, that's exactly what makes them vulnerable to what's coming next. Enter Elon Musk, the serial disruptor. Now let's talk about the man behind Macrohard. Elon Musk isn't exactly known for playing it safe. This South African entrepreneur helped create PayPal, then transformed entire industries with Tesla and SpaceX. But here's what you need to understand about Musk's approach to AI. He's not just building another tech company. He's got a reputation for audacious goals, colonizing Mars, autonomous cars, you name it. But his predictions about AI are what should grab your attention. Musk has boldly stated that AI and robots will replace all jobs, and that working will be optional. Let that sink in for a moment. He's not saying might replace or could potentially replace. He's saying it will be replaced. And he's backing up these predictions with real action, launching his own AI company called xAI in 2023, focused on developing large language models like his Grok AI. But wait, before you think Musk is completely anti-human, here's the nuance that most people miss. He's actually emphasizing the importance of human expertise in AI development. Musk is actively hiring top engineers for Macrohard and has noted that creating advanced AI requires creative problem-solving and oversight that only people can provide. So what's his real vision? A hybrid model where AI agents do most of the heavy lifting, overseen and guided by elite human engineers. Think about Musk's track record. He disrupted the automotive industry with electric vehicles, revolutionized space travel with reusable rockets, and pushed solar energy into the mainstream. Every single time, people said it couldn't be done, and every single time, he proved them wrong. Now he's betting that his next big disruption will be in how software companies are built and run using AI. And this next part will surprise you. What exactly is Macrohard? Here's where things get really interesting. Macrohard isn't trying to be another Microsoft clone. It's not a hardware manufacturer at all. Instead, it's conceived as a purely AI-run company where the entire software development cycle is driven by AI models. But why this approach? Well, Musk made one critical observation. Microsoft and other big software companies mostly sell digital products and outsource their hardware anyway. Therefore, in principle, it should be possible to simulate an entire software firm like Microsoft entirely with AI. In Musk's own words, Macrohard's goal is to create a company that can do anything short of manufacturing physical objects directly. Much like how Apple designs products but has partners actually make them, Macrohard would handle all the digital work through AI agents. Essentially, instead of human coders, managers, and testers, autonomous AI agents would handle those tasks. Let me break down what makes Macrohard different, because this is where your understanding of the future of work starts to crystallize. First, every phase of software creation, designing, coding, testing, and deployment would be handled by AI agents, not assisted by AI. Handled by AI. Macrohard aims to be a purely AI-run company where autonomous agents take care of everything, from designing and coding to testing and deploying software. No human bottlenecks, no vacation days, no salary negotiations. Second, like Apple's model, Macrohard would outsource any hardware production. Since Microsoft doesn't actually manufacture gadgets themselves, Macrohard won't build devices either. It will focus purely on software delivered through cloud and digital channels. This keeps overhead incredibly low and scalability incredibly high. But here's what gives Macrohard its real power: the massive computing backbone. Macrohard plans to leverage xAI's own Grok 5 language model and the Colossus 2 supercomputer, which is currently one of the largest AI clusters in existence. These high-performance GPUs would allow the system to process data at scale for continuous software generation. We're talking about computational power that most companies can only dream of. Now here's the part that might make you a little uncomfortable. In Musk's vision, the company might start with a skeleton team of engineers and then have AI handle most engineering tasks. Musk himself wrote that Macrohard will be operated largely by AI agents, not humans, essentially simulating a company like Microsoft with artificial managers and developers. Think about what that means for a moment. The business model is still evolving. Macrohard could sell AI agents as a service, software licenses, or cloud subscriptions. The exact approach is undecided, but analysts are watching closely because this raises fundamental questions about how value is created and captured in an AI-first world. xAI's own statements claim that Macrohard will use advanced AI models at scale to develop software faster and with fewer errors than traditional methods. If this utopian model actually works, it would completely redefine how code is written and products are delivered. And Microsoft should be paying very close attention. The face-off: Macrohard versus Microsoft. Now let's get into the real comparison, because this is where the rubber meets the road. Macrohard and Microsoft differ in several fundamental ways that will shape the future of the tech industry. Start with the company model. Microsoft has roughly 200,000 employees, engineers, managers, sales teams, support staff, you name it. It's a traditional corporate structure. Macrohard, by contrast, is designed to be operated largely by AI agents, not humans. We're talking about automating or replacing roles that have always been filled by human teams. This isn't just about efficiency, it's about reimagining what a company even is. Then there's hardware. Microsoft still sells physical products like Xbox gaming consoles and Surface tablets. Macrohard explicitly will not manufacture hardware. It follows an Apple-like strategy: set the software standards and outsource any physical production. This keeps Macrohard lean and focused purely on what AI does best. But the development process is where things get truly revolutionary. Today, Microsoft develops software with human engineers, who are aided by tools like GitHub Copilot. The humans are still in charge, using AI as an assistant. Macrohard flips this entirely. Its AI agents will write code, test software, and manage projects autonomously. Where Microsoft uses AI to assist humans, Macrohard plans for AI to replace many humans altogether. Now scale and resources tell an interesting story. Microsoft has decades of legacy products and a vast loyal user base. They've got $281 billion in annual sales and a proven track record. Macrohard, by contrast, is starting from absolute zero. It's relying on Musk's Grok AI and Colossus computing infrastructure to somehow match Microsoft's scale. That's a tall order. Microsoft's wealth and ecosystem give them an enormous head start, while Macrohard is completely unproven. But remember, Tesla was unproven once too. Leadership and strategy couldn't be more different. Microsoft is led by Satya Nadella and a professional executive team focused on incremental growth and serving enterprise clients. It's steady, predictable, and conservative. Macrohard is Musk's project, a rapid, experimental push into uncharted AI territory. As one tech analysis perfectly put it, Macrohard is Musk's next bet on AI, a high-risk, high-reward gambit rather than a steady corporate strategy. In summary, Macrohard's AI-only approach contrasts sharply with Microsoft's human-driven legacy. Microsoft is entrenched with billions of users and decades of trust. Macrohard is a radical experiment in automation. If Macrohard can truly automate software development at scale, it could pose an entirely new kind of competition to Microsoft. But it also faces enormous hurdles to match Microsoft's scale, reliability, and user trust. Battle of the Founders: Musk versus Gates. Let's talk about the masterminds behind these companies, because understanding them helps us predict where this is all heading. Both Musk and Bill Gates reshaped the tech industry, but their styles and visions couldn't be more different. First, track record. Musk has this serial disruptor image, and honestly, he's earned it. He drove Tesla to lead the electric vehicle revolution, built SpaceX rockets that routinely land themselves like something out of science fiction, and spearheaded ventures like Solar City and The Boring Company. Gates, on the other hand, co-founded Microsoft and led it to completely dominate personal computing. Windows and Office became so ubiquitous that we take them for granted today. He left day-to-day management in 2000 to focus on philanthropy through the Gates Foundation, but he remains a major voice in tech strategy. Their AI philosophies reveal a fascinating contrast. Musk is a fierce advocate for AI automation. He co-founded OpenAI, later left and criticized its direction, and now boldly predicts AI will replace most human jobs. Gates, by contrast, acknowledges AI's immense power but urges caution. In a recent comment, he noted that coding is too complex to fully replace humans using AI, suggesting there are hard limits to what automation can achieve. Gates has invested heavily in AI through Microsoft and health research, but he consistently stresses that humans still add critical value that machines cannot replicate. When it comes to their approach to work, Musk famously demands intense, around-the-clock effort from employees. He's called remote work morally wrong for some jobs and has zero patience for lagging productivity. He even proposed a government department of government efficiency run by AI to purge wasteful bureaucracy. Gates, by comparison, was a rigorous software engineer who earned the nickname Father of Basic, but his public image is more that of a methodical programmer and later a careful philanthropist. Gates hasn't called for mandatory in-office work, though he has embraced policy solutions like universal basic income to address automation, similar to Musk. Their visions for the future tell you everything you need to know. Musk envisions humans exploring Mars, uploading brains to computers, and he talks openly about the need for universal basic income as AI rises. He's looking decades, even centuries ahead. Gates is more focused on immediate challenges: global health, climate change technology, and ensuring AI benefits humanity responsibly today. In essence, Musk is the provocateur. He pushes radical automation, files lawsuits against AI companies, and demands rapid innovation at any cost. Gates is the steadier pioneer who built Microsoft's empire and now advises caution on AI deployment, though he still funds cutting-edge research. Their legacies converge in philanthropy and global impact, but diverge dramatically on risk tolerance and rhetoric. And this difference shapes everything about how Macrohard and Microsoft will compete. What this means for American workers. Here's the question on everyone's mind. What does all this mean for your job? Macrohard's AI-centric model has sparked intense debate about how work will fundamentally change in America. Musk himself doesn't mince words. He says AI and robots will replace all jobs, and working will become optional. Not might. Will. Let's look at the data, because this isn't just speculation. Analysts estimate that up to 80% of U.S. workers could see at least 10% of their tasks affected by AI. Even more striking, about 19% of workers could have more than half their duties disrupted or automated. In practical terms, coding jobs and routine tech tasks are most at risk right now. XAI claims Macrohard will allow software to be built faster and with fewer errors via AI, which sounds great until you realize that also means far fewer human coders and testers are needed. But here's the nuance that the headlines often miss. The vision isn't completely human-free. Musk's emphasis on the importance of human expertise and his active hiring of elite engineers suggest he expects people to steer and oversee the AI. In the near term, Macrohard will likely create new high-tech jobs for AI trainers, data engineers, and oversight specialists, even as it reduces traditional programming positions. Think of it like this. Instead of hundreds of engineers writing millions of lines of code, Macrohard might have a few dozen engineers supervising AI coding agents. The jobs don't disappear completely, they transform. But that transformation is brutal for anyone who hasn't prepared for it. Policy thinkers are already sounding alarm bells about this transition. Musk has advocated for universal basic income as a social safety net for a robot-automated future. He argues that automation could free people to focus on creative and leisure activities instead of drudge work. That sounds utopian, right? But others counter that rapid AI deployment without proper safeguards could dramatically widen inequality if left unchecked. For now, Musk's Macrohard initiative is essentially a stress test. If an AI-run company can genuinely compete with Microsoft, it will force every business to rethink staffing, training, and even what education prepares people for. This isn't just about tech workers. If software development can be fully automated, what industry is safe? Macrohard exemplifies a possible future: companies with lean human staff and heavy AI automation. This could completely upend traditional career paths. It raises huge questions about labor markets and how tech workers adapt, about corporate practices and the emphasis on AI skill sets, and about social policies like universal basic income and retraining programs. The initiative underlines the broader trend that the future of work will likely involve humans collaborating with increasingly capable AI agents. But collaboration might be a generous word when the AI is doing 90% of the work. What happens next? So where does this leave us? Macrohard is an ambitious challenge to Microsoft's domain, and it perfectly reflects Elon Musk's high-stakes approach to innovation. If it succeeds, it would completely rewrite the rules of software development by running a company almost entirely via AI. That's not hyperbole. That's Musk's stated goal. Microsoft isn't sitting still, though. They're already an AI powerhouse with a strong track record and massive resources. But here's what should concern them. Macrohard could force even a titan like Microsoft to adapt if it proves viable. Microsoft built their empire on human expertise and traditional software development. If Macrohard demonstrates that AI can do it faster, cheaper, and with fewer errors, Microsoft's entire competitive advantage comes into question. Meanwhile, Musk's vision of work is crystal clear. In a fully automated firm, human labor becomes optional and gets redistributed towards supervision, creativity, and strategic thinking. As Musk deploys Macrohard and related AI projects, Americans should expect heated debates over job security, income support like universal basic income, and how to prepare the workforce for an AI-driven economy. Think about the implications. If Macrohard works, every company in every industry will ask, why are we paying for 10,000 employees when AI agents could do this for a fraction of the cost? That question alone could trigger the biggest workforce transformation since the Industrial Revolution. In the end, Macrohard versus Microsoft isn't just a tech battle between two companies. It's a preview of how the very nature of work and innovation might change in the AI era. And whether you're a software engineer, a manager, an entrepreneur, or someone just starting their career, understanding this shift isn't optional anymore. It's essential. The race between Macrohard and Microsoft is more than corporate rivalry. It's a fundamental test of two visions for the future. Microsoft represents the evolution of traditional business, humans aided by increasingly powerful AI tools. Macrohard represents the revolution, AI doing the work, while humans provide oversight and direction. History tells us that disruptive technologies always create winners and losers. The question isn't whether AI will transform work. It will. The question is whether we'll manage that transformation thoughtfully or let it happen to us. Musk is betting everything that AI can run a company, as well as humans. Gates is betting that human judgment and creativity remain irreplaceable. Who's right? We're about to find out. And what you do with this information right now, today, will determine which side of that transformation you end up on.